Have you ever noticed how some people seem completely content spending time alone, while others can't stand the thought of it? If you're someone who enjoys solitude, you might have been told, you need to get out more, or aren't you lonely? But what if I told you that choosing to spend time alone isn't a bad thing at all? In fact, for many seniors, solitude can bring more peace, fulfillment, and happiness than constant socializing. Now, this might sound surprising, especially since we're often told that staying social is the key to happiness as we age. But the truth is, not everyone finds joy in big gatherings or frequent social outings. And that's completely okay. If you've ever felt happiest in your own space, doing things at your own pace, you're not alone. Science backs up the idea that solitude, when chosen, not forced, can be incredibly beneficial, especially after 65. Think about it. After a lifetime of responsibilities, raising families, managing careers, meeting social obligations, it's only natural to crave some breathing room. There comes a point where the constant hustle of social expectations just isn't appealing anymore. You might find yourself enjoying the simple pleasures of a quiet morning, a good book, a peaceful walk, or even just sitting with your thoughts. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. Research shows that as we age, our priorities shift. We start valuing quality over quantity, quality of time, quality of relationships, and most importantly, quality of peace. Studies in psychology suggest that after 65, people experience what's called the positivity effect. This means we naturally gravitate toward experiences that bring us peace and happiness, rather than those that feel draining or unnecessary. And for many, that means choosing solitude over superficial socializing. But let's be clear, there's a big difference between being alone and being lonely. Loneliness is when you crave connection but don't have it. It feels empty, painful, and isolating. Solitude, on the other hand, is a choice. It's when you embrace your own company, enjoy your independence, and find peace in your own world. The key is understanding which one you're experiencing. If solitude makes you feel calm, free, and content, then it's likely a positive force in your life. One major reason some seniors feel happier alone is the freedom from social pressures. When we're younger, there's an unspoken rule that we need to be constantly social, attending events, keeping up with friends, making small talk. But as we age, many of us realize that we don't need to impress anyone. We don't need to force conversations or fill up our schedules with obligations that don't bring us joy. And that realization? It's liberating. Picture this, you wake up in the morning and there's no need to rush. No expectations, no appointments unless you want them. You can take a walk, sip your coffee, read a book, or simply sit and think. There's a unique joy in doing things at your own pace, without interruptions. This kind of solitude allows you to reconnect with yourself, rediscover old passions, and even learn new things without outside distractions. But here's the thing, just because someone enjoys being alone doesn't mean they're completely isolated. Many seniors who embrace solitude still maintain close, meaningful relationships. They simply prefer deeper, one-on-one connections over large social circles. Maybe you have a close friend you talk to once in a while, or a family member you visit occasionally, and that's enough. Quality over quantity. Of course, society doesn't always understand this. We live in a world that praises extroversion, being outgoing, social, and always engaged. But what about the quiet strength of solitude? What about the peace that comes from self-sufficiency? There's nothing wrong with stepping back from the social rush and finding joy in your rhythm. And the benefits don't stop at peace of mind. Studies show that those who are comfortable with solitude often experience lower stress levels, better emotional stability, and even improved cognitive function. When you're alone, your brain gets a break from constant stimulation. You have time to reflect, process thoughts, and engage in activities that truly interest you, whether that's painting, gardening, writing, or simply enjoying nature. So if you've ever felt happiest in your own little world, know that you're not alone in this feeling. And more importantly, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you, how solitude can strengthen your relationships rather than weaken them. It might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, shouldn't spending less time with others make you feel more disconnected? Not necessarily. When you embrace solitude, you become more selective about how and with whom you spend your time. Instead of filling your days with small talk and surface-level interactions, you start prioritizing meaningful conversations with people who truly matter to you. Think about it. Have you ever attended a social event out of obligation, only to come home feeling drained? Maybe the conversation felt forced. Or the energy in the room just didn't match yours. The older we get, the less patience we have for that kind of thing. And that's perfectly normal. By stepping back from unnecessary social commitments, you create space for deeper, more fulfilling connections. You begin to value quality over quantity, and in doing so, your relationships become more intentional. Solitude also allows you to reconnect with yourself, which, in turn, helps you show up as a better version of yourself in your relationships. When you take time to reflect, recharge, and truly understand your own needs, you bring more presence and authenticity to the interactions you do have. Instead of feeling obligated to engage, you engage because you truly want to. And here's another interesting thing about solitude: it reduces stress. Studies show that constant social interaction, especially when it's not fulfilling, can lead to higher levels of anxiety and stress. Think about the energy it takes to keep up with conversations, respond to messages, attend events, and maintain relationships. While some people thrive on that kind of social engagement, others find it overwhelming. And that's where solitude becomes a gift. When you spend time alone, you allow your mind to slow down. You're not worrying about what to say next, how to respond, or whether you're meeting social expectations. Instead, you're simply present, with yourself, in the moment. Many seniors who embrace solitude also report feeling more in control of their time and emotions. Without external pressures dictating how you should spend your days, you get to decide what truly matters to you. Maybe that means taking long morning walks, indulging in creative hobbies, or simply sitting in silence with a cup of tea. Whatever it is, you're in control, and that sense of autonomy can be incredibly empowering. Another reason solitude can feel so fulfilling is that it gives your brain room to breathe. When we're constantly surrounded by noise, whether it's conversations, television, or the internet, our minds don't get much of a break. Solitude offers a mental reset. It allows your thoughts to settle, your emotions to balance, and your creativity to flow. That's why some of the most innovative thinkers, artists, writers, scientists, actively seek solitude. It's in those quiet moments that new ideas emerge, emotions are processed, and true self-discovery happens. But let's be clear, embracing solitude doesn't mean shutting out the world entirely. It simply means giving yourself the space to exist without external demands. Some people enjoy solitude but still cherish occasional social outings. Others prefer a more independent lifestyle with minimal interaction. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The key is to find a balance that feels right for you. One of the most beautiful things about getting older is the ability to live life on your terms. After decades of fulfilling roles, whether as a parent, partner, employee, or caretaker, this stage of life is an opportunity to focus on yourself. To listen to your own needs rather than the expectations of others. And if that means enjoying solitude, then that's exactly what you should do. Now, some people might question this shift. They might say, "But aren't you lonely? Or you should get out more." And if you're happy with your level of social interaction, you don't need to justify it. Just because society places a high value on constant social engagement doesn't mean that's the only path to happiness. What matters most is what brings you peace. Because here's the truth, happiness isn't about how many people you surround yourself with. It's about how you feel in your own company. And when you learn to truly enjoy that, you gain a kind of freedom that few ever experience. Now, you might be wondering, what if I enjoy my solitude, but sometimes I do feel a little lonely? That's a great question, and it's important to make a distinction between being alone and feeling lonely. They're not the same thing. Being alone is a choice. It's a peaceful state where you enjoy your own company. Loneliness, on the other hand, is when you feel disconnected. Like something is missing. And even people with full social calendars can feel lonely. It's not about how many people you have around you, it's about whether you feel understood, valued, and fulfilled. If you ever find yourself feeling lonely, it doesn't mean solitude isn't right for you. It just means you might need to adjust the balance. Maybe that means scheduling small, meaningful interactions, like a weekly phone call with a loved one, joining an online group that shares your interests. or having an occasional coffee date with a friend who truly understands you. The beauty of solitude is that it allows you to choose connection on your terms rather than feeling pressured into constant socializing. And let's not forget, some of the best forms of connection aren't with people at all. Many seniors find deep companionship in nature, animals, art, music, and even spirituality. Sitting outside and feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, reading a book that resonates with you, listening to music that stirs something deep inside, these moments remind us that we're part of something bigger, even when we're alone. Solitude also opens the door to self-discovery. When you're constantly surrounded by noise, opinions, expectations, distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what you truly want. But in quiet moments, you start to understand yourself better. You rediscover old passions, explore new interests, and find out what makes you feel truly alive. Think about it. When was the last time you did something just for yourself? Not because it was expected. Not because it was part of a routine, but simply because it made you happy? Maybe it's painting, writing, gardening, playing an instrument, or learning something new. Solitude permits you to embrace those things fully, without interruption or judgment. And here's something powerful to remember: you don't need anyone's approval to enjoy your own life. If you feel happier spending more time alone, that's okay. If you prefer deep one-on-one conversations over big gatherings, that's okay too. There's no rulebook for happiness. The only thing that matters is what brings you joy, peace, and fulfillment. So, if you ever feel guilty for not being as social as you used to be, or if someone questions your decision to embrace solitude, just remind yourself of this: the happiest people aren't those with the most friends. They're the ones who are most at peace with themselves. As you move forward, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what truly brings me joy? What kind of life feels most fulfilling to me? And if solitude is part of that answer, embrace it fully. Let go of any guilt, any pressure, any outside expectations. This is your time, your journey, your happiness. And if this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you enjoy spending time alone? Have you discovered new passions or found peace in solitude? Let's start a conversation, because whether you love being alone or still figuring it out, one thing is for sure: happiness is something we create for ourselves. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And remember, your happiness is in your hands, and there's nothing more freeing than truly enjoying your own company. Here's to living life on your terms.